What's going on, family? What's going on? What's going down? What's shaking? Welcome to Jonathan Soul's podcast. This is Jonathan Soul speaking with you now. Family, I have the premier voiceover personality on the interwebs. Somebody who hails from middle America. We're talking about Milwaukee. We're talking about somebody who not only has made himself a force to be reckoned with in the voiceover industry, but is reaching back and expanded the services that he offers into coaching. Not only is he a voice actor, he's a coach, and he's an author. I actually purchased this book, Steps to Voiceover Success. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Earl Hall. How you doing, sir?
Hi, Jonathan. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing great.
Good, man. Good. Now, it's funny, man. I was telling you off mic that I actually started following you before you did like the daily podcast where people would kind of, hop on the chat and ask you different kinds of questions. I mean, from what I read in the book, you started, I guess, part-time doing voiceover work in 2006. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's been over a decade at this point.
So what was the main gig?
Oh God, I've had so many. I've had several jobs before I started doing this full time. The main one that I had was as a bus operator for the city of Milwaukee.
Okay. There's a very famous drive time radio personality whose name escapes me who did the same thing. And
Okay.
I can't remember, but yeah. So all right, so you were doing that. You were working for the Department of Transportation. You was doing this part-time voiceover thing, I guess, in your basement.
Yep, had a home studio in my basement.
And so, I mean, did you have any mentors at that early stage in your voiceover career? I mean, were you just like a babe in the woods? I mean, tell me about that period.
Well, I mean, initially starting out, especially going back to the mid 2000s, early 2000s, there wasn't a lot of what you would call mentors
Okay.
available. There were other voice actors that I would speak to from time to time, but as I started getting more into this and fully focused on it, there really still yet weren't a lot of mentors that could really, I feel, give me the direction that I felt I needed. So it was more, I didn't study voiceover as
Hmm.
much as I studied business development and marketing.
Okay.
I knew I had the talent for voiceover. So I didn't need to learn how to do voiceover because I had spent, my time and due diligence doing that. So what I spent most of my time on was learning how to build an actual business.
Wow. So when you started voiceover, your focus wasn't necessarily, the technique and so forth. It was more or less the marketing and the business, the administrative part of it.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Now,
Hmm.
in the time that you've been a voiceover actor, do you find that other prominent voiceover actors have that focus, or is it mostly on like equipment setup and mic technique and that kind of thing?
That's pretty much it. I mean, usually when people look into getting into voiceover, it's not a lot of looking into how to build an actual business. It's more so what type of microphone should I use? What type of DAW or digital audio workstation should I use? Some different coaching on how to actually do a performance on the mic, script interpretation, things of that nature is what people mostly focus on. But the thing that is severely lacking, and the reason why so many people, in my opinion, aren't that successful in voiceovers because they don't focus on the actual building of the business. They never get to that point, and they look for a lot of tricks and scams and schemes to try and do it when this is nothing more than a business. This is what it is. It's a business.
Mm. You would almost make it sound like the skills that you teach are transferable to another industry.
They're transferable to every industry. It's about business development. It's one of the things that I say more so than anything to new voice actors or voice actors that have been in for a while is that your number one job as a voice actor is to get the client. There is nothing more important than that. This is going past, do you have the skill to do it? Going past, do you understand how to process an audio file? This is once you've gotten past all of that. The point of all of that is to hopefully build a business, not have a hobby.
Mm. Okay. All right. All right. You know, it's interesting. There's an explosion, I would say, of podcasters coming up nowadays. Probably in the last, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 years or so.
Mhm.
Have you seen a similar explosion in terms of the people who are interested in voiceover?
Well, I'm one of the people that's encouraging it.
Okay.
I'm encouraging people, especially those that are in my groups and people that I coach. It's like, look, this is a new age and a new era. Most of the people that we see in voiceover, they've been here for the last 20, 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they're teaching things that are absolutely not relevant anymore.
Mm.
They don't work anymore. They're going back and, like, for instance, the home studio is the future of voiceover.
Okay.
Years ago, if you wanted to get into this industry, you had to have an agent. You had to be able to go into a studio either in New York or LA. And if you weren't in New York or LA, you weren't going to make it.
Mm.
Well, it's total that industry has totally changed. As a matter of fact, a lot of what I call the old heads in this industry are rather upset that times are a changing.
Mm.
And it's the new voice actor that's coming up that if you don't have a firm grasp and understanding of social media, how to use it to market and sell yourself, you're going to lose.
Okay. Okay. So if someone is interested in voice acting, there's kind of like three. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there may be three places where you could put your money. You could put your money in equipment. You could put your money maybe in, I guess, coaching. For in terms of technique and everything, or you could put your money in like learning how to market the business.
Right?
How would a person, how would you advise a person to move forward with those initial investments?
Yeah. If you're starting off at square one, I mean, a microphone in the range of anywhere from $200 to $500
Hmm.
is going to work for you for a very long time. Um, a lot of voice actors, and this is where people get into trouble. People get into trouble because they they get to a point and say they're not getting work. And the industry will say, well, if you're not getting work, you probably need more coaching. So let's tighten up your voiceover skills. That's just a mistake.
Hmm.
That's not why you're not getting work. They also want to invest more money in a, thousand, $2,000, $3,000 microphone. They think that's going to be the thing to get them over. It's not. It is the individual. It is not the strategy or the tactic which you need. You do need these things to in order to understand how to develop a business and how to get work. But the success or failure, whether you're a voice actor or anything, is completely 100% dependent on you.
Hmm.
And when you become extremely self-aware of who it is that you are, the sky is the limit for anything that you want to do. But we get conned into thinking, oh, well, I need more voiceover coaching. I need better, whatever. That's not normally the case.
Hmm.
It's you.
Okay. In your videos on YouTube, you make a point to say that marketing is the top skill that you have to develop. You also talk about some of your early successes. I remember in one video in particular, you were saying that you were getting a lot of work from China. And
Yes.
so, with your students and your coaching sessions, do you find that they're doing more work internationally, locally, nationally? Can you call
It's
it?
all over the board. It's all over the board. The question that you're asking me is kind of to the point of what I was making earlier.
Uh huh.
People want what I call an easy button.
Hmm.
Oh, well, if Earl says I should go international, oh, well, I'll try and get more work international. Oh, well, if Earl says I should go local, you can get work anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Where you focus is what grows. Period.
Okay.
Where you focus is what will grow.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. In growing any kind of a business or developing any kind of a skill, I think a lot of us run against that frustration wall. We wanted to hurry up and work, and we
Hmm.
wanted to,
Hmm.
we want to see some kind of sprouts in the seeds that we plant.
Yeah.
Was there a point in your career since 2006 where you kind of got frustrated, wanted to throw in the towel? I mean, how did you overcome that particular period?
Well, that happened to me several times. Things started really kicking off for me about 4 years ago
Okay.
because that's when I got serious and that's when I got focused. But I tell people, and it took me 3 years to go full time.
Hmm.
So I tell people, look, if you're starting off today and you're looking for something to happen in the next 30 days, it's not. If you're not willing to put in the next 1 to 5 years of doing this, quit today
Hmm. Okay.
because you're going to go through ups and downs. And if you can't handle that or don't know that that is a part of the game, regardless of the business, if you're not willing to dedicate the next 1 to 5 years, quit now.
Okay. Okay. I've interviewed some people who are in game development. I've
Yeah.
interviewed a ton of people who uh, are, they're creating animation. When people think voiceover, they usually just think of like commercials. What other kinds of fields, can a voiceover artist, look to get into?
Well, there's a plethora of them. And I mean, the gaming industry and the character industry is wide open because you've got, I mean, app developers that are out there making, games for our iPhones and Androids all the time. And all of those places need voice actors. You've got to know how to tap into them and find them wherever they are hiding out or wherever they are. And one, let them know that you're available. You've got, as far as the different genres that you were asking about, I mean, from commercial to character to e-learning to explainer videos to narration, documentaries, audiobooks, other sorts of apps. I mean, there's so many things coming into fruition right now or coming into existence right now, even on the realm of AI is
Hmm.
coming. So there's a lot of different things that someone that has an appropriate recording space and knows how to do voiceover, there's going to be some things that are just going to be wide open here not too long from now. Well, they
Okay.
already are.
Okay. Okay. A lot of the people that I follow on YouTube are basically entrepreneurial. They have entrepreneurial bend.
Yeah.
And with the economy the way it is, and people are saying that college is a scam, and the whole economic environment is shifting.
Yeah.
Amongst the people that you associate with, do you see a rise in entrepreneurship, whether it's voiceover or other industries?
I see a rise in people wanting to call themselves entrepreneurs, but not truly entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And what I mean by not truly entrepreneurs, you've got to, if this is whatever entrepreneurial bent you have or whatever business it is you want to go into, if you're not putting all of your effort there, it's not truly entrepreneurial. It's like a side hustle type of thing. It's like just something I'm interested in. If it works, it works. For a true entrepreneur, it's only this thing. This is
Hmm.
the only thing you're focused on. You can't breathe. You can't do anything but this. And that's what I think separates the entrepreneurs from the entrepreneur wannabes.
Hmm. Okay. So a person with a full time gig who wants to become an entrepreneur, it sounds like he's working 16 hours. You know what I mean? And that's what it sounds like.
I tell you what, and I can repeat this verbatim so quickly. It's like I did this for 2 years. I worked a full time job. I had to be at work at 7 p.m. I worked from 7 p.m. until 3:30 a.m. Got off at 3:30. Got off at 3:30 a.m. Came home, went to bed at 4. Woke up at 7 to take my kids to school. Dropped my kids to school by 8. Came back to get in my studio to work from about 8 to 11. Took a nap. Got back up to go pick my kids up from school. Came back, which was at about 3:30. Got back home. Worked from about 4 to about 5. Took another nap. Back at work at 7. That was my life for 2 years because that's what I wanted to make happen. That's what I wanted to make happen. I didn't take vacations. I didn't, there was very little alone time as far as like just watching TV or Netflix. There was none of that. I was committed to building this. And that's what I committed my life to that. And I knew when I started on YouTube, it was already in my head. I knew where I was going. it just hadn't materialized into reality yet, into physical reasons, into physical existence. But I knew where I was going and what I wanted to do, and now I'm here, and now I've got higher goals.
Mm, wow. That's amazing. So was there a point where you looked in the mirror and said, "Yes, this is what I want to do. I got to put the time in." Was it a
Yeah,
slow? Okay.
no, it was all of a sudden. It was one day I was basically waiting to go to work, and I was like, I was at that point where, okay, I can do this for the rest of my life. I can retire from this job and make good money, which I was making very good money.
Hmm.
And I just all of a sudden realized I'm not built for this. I
Mm,
don't want to do this. I do not want to do this. It's like, and so what do you want to do, Earl? Well, this is what I want to do. And so that's what I did.
amazing.
And I
Amazing.
committed. I mean, I had a conversation with my wife. I literally had a conversation with her. I said, I need you to give me 2 years. I need 2 years of, I'm not going to be around a lot. I'm not going to go to family events. I'm going to forget birthdays. And we have 4 kids.
Wow.
And I was like, if I don't do this at this point in my life, I will never do it. I was 45 at the time.
Mm,
I just turned 49. And I
okay.
was like, if I don't do this now, I'll never do it.
Wow.
I need you to give me the time. And she graciously did. Not one day did she complain.
Wow.
Not one day. But she knew me and she knew my, tenacity or whatever you want to call it,
Hmm.
as far as with what I wanted to do. And so she gave me that time and space.
So obviously, your wonderful wife gave you the emotional and other support that you needed. Did
Absolutely.
how did it impact your friendships and other things? I mean, did you have to have a similar talk with other folk, or did you just not
No,
show up?
I just didn't show up. I didn't have a similar talk. I don't have a circle. I
Okay,
don't have a big circle. So it wasn't an issue.
okay, that's amazing, man. That is amazing. I mean, I think that you definitely um, are showing several aspects of the success that you're bringing to the table. One, you kind of made sure that the home was straight. You
Yeah.
know that the wifey was on board and everything. I'm sure the kids
Yes.
understood and everything.
Vital.
And
Vital.
yeah. And so you had that. Now there was a time where I think in one of the videos you talked about the kids running around, and I guess there was an agreed upon time where they would kind of chill out so you could record.
That was early. That was in my early days
Okay.
where they would, it's hard to record and you've got toddlers. You
Mm-hmm.
can't stop them. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to do what they want to do. And
Okay.
so, I had to work around that. But every voice actor that has a home studio goes through that.
Go through that, yeah. Now
Yeah.
it's funny, man. I'm going through your book and I'm looking at your initial setup. You
Yeah.
had the Electro Voice RE20. You
Yeah.
had a Mackie board. You had
Yeah.
you said a voice strip. I'm
A
not
vocal strip.
a
It's
vocal
a
strip.
vocal strip. Yeah.
What is that?
It can be anything. A vocal strip just adds enhancement to your voice. It could be a lot of different
Is
things,
that
but
like I got the reason why I bring it up is because I think I got a similar setup. Uh,
okay.
so I was like, oh wow, and then he said if you clap and you can hear the echo, I clap. I was
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
Yeah. That's it.
So
Horrible recording environment. And I didn't learn that. It took me about 3-4 years from the beginning to learn that,
uh-huh.
and couldn't figure out why my recordings were. But that goes back to the beginning where I was saying there weren't many mentors. There weren't many people talking about this in 2006, 2007.
Right. Let's get into a little bit of the initial equipment setup. I mean, people who are just starting this, they want to explore this, so they feel committed. Their cost of entry, thank goodness, is lower than years ago.
Hmm.
You described written
Yeah.
studio time and the whole bit. So
Yeah.
I think I got 4 mics in the house right now. I got the first one I ever bought was the Audio Technica AT 2020.
Me too. That was my first mic.
Wow, yep. That's before I knew the difference between like condenser and
Dynamic. Yeah.
dynamic and all that kind of stuff. And phantom power, what's that? Kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
so now I have the Electro Voice RE20. I got the DBX
286.
286 S, with the little noise gate and so forth.
Yeah.
I live in an apartment, so that noise gate was crucial. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's a vocal strip, by the way.
Oh, okay. I figured. Okay. And what I started doing was, and I kind of got this from the ACX videos from Amazon Audible. I got a H4N Pro to record into, so we're recording like
Okay.
directly into that now, and Skype is feeding through the thing. So
Okay.
I mean, so in terms of an initial setup, I watched your videos. You talked about blankets and towels and things. Can you go into a little bit about that when you first set up your home studio?
Sure. I mean, the reason I use the blankets or the comforters is because you do not want to record in a space with flat surfaces.
Yeah.
That's why you get the echo. So you put up, blankets or comforters around you
Mm-hmm.
to make what we call a dead space. There
Mm.
is no echo.
Yeah.
It's just your sound. And so, obviously that's not going to keep out any external noise like on the street or something,
Okay.
but what it will do is deaden your sound so that you sound a whole lot better.
Gotcha.
And because of that, and the most important thing that you can work on is your environment.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the best mic, but if you've got a crappy environment, you're still dead in water. It still sounds like crap.
Gotcha.
So I tell people you've got to pay attention to where you're recording. You can go in something as simple as open your closet door and go in there with all the clothes and record.
Mm-hmm.
It's a world of difference. It's
Yeah.
a world of difference. So the most important aspect is your environment. After that, if you're just starting, the USB technology is so amazing at this point. It's rivaling all the other stuff that we use.
Mm-hmm.
So you go in and you spend $200-300 on a condenser mic. I mean, you can even get the AT2020 condenser version.
Mm-hmm.
You spend about $200-300 on a mic to start out USB, and you're pretty set.
Yeah. 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 We're going to wrap up, and I appreciate your time.
Sure.
There's several sites that you have that people can avail themselves to find out about coaching services, get your book, things of that sort. What site should they go to for coaching services, for example?
It's just steps to voiceoversuccess.com.
Okay. Now I have your book, which is, I think it's Steps to Voiceover Domination. Let me see. Let me go to my Kindle.
What color is it?
It's the yellow cover.
That's next level voiceover domination. That's my latest
that's what
book.
I got.
It has everything in there that I've ever taught is in that book.
Wow.
From how to do your setup, voiceover, getting work, and also the philosophy behind what I believe is the philosophy of success.
Fantastic. Mr. Hall, it's been an honor to have you in the program, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Yo, family, what's going on with you? I hope y'all dug that interview. This is Jonathan Soul Speak with you now. I want you to support my brothers and sisters by following them on social media and going to their website and picking up that product so we can stop focusing so much on issues and start focusing on building industry. For more episodes, go to jonathansoul.com, JohnathanSoul.com. And of course, I'm on social media. I'm on, it's Jonathan Soul at Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. Subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on SoundCloud. And I'm over at Black Spot as well, that terrific Facebook competitor. Listen, family, I love you guys. And I want all your dreams to come true. And my dreams can't come true without you. And yours can't come true without me. So let's support each other. And let's build this thing together. I love you guys. Peace and love to you and your family. Till next time.